everyone. And hello and welcome everyone to the Solicitation Station, a show we do every few months here. I'm of course your host, Cape Joel, and I do this show to let you all know what you can look forward to and what is coming out in the next few months for your favorite superheroes at both Marvel and DC. Of course, we have Newsarama here right up. They've compiled all the solicitations for you. We're going to go through them, gonna give our thoughts, gonna, have a nice little chat going here. Actually, hey, speaking of the chat, I should probably move the chat up a little bit. You're all talking, but it's not showing up on the new window here. This is why we do these, everyone. All right, there we go. Now the chat is live. Now the chat is doing the thing it did. Keep forgetting you shaved. Interesting you should say that, Flashbull. I'm going for a different type of beard thing now. I'm going for like the Samoa Joe right now, where it goes from like the sideburns to the rest of the beard. I got complimented about it today. Trying to think outside the goatee, trying to think outside the chin beard and do something a little different, just try and challenge myself. But yeah, we got the solicitations up here for the month of September. So what can we look forward to at Marvel and DC beyond event season, which is traditionally the summer? No, Tommy, you're right on time. We have not started yet. We're just going right now. In fact, I was going to throw over to the chat, because this is your show, and I like it when we all hang out together and when we all make choices. What would you guys like to see first? Would you like to see me cover the DC stuff first, or would you like to see me cover the Marvel stuff first? It's all up to you. It's viewer's choice, everyone, and this is what you can only do when you show up to one of these streams. I know I do them very irregularly, but this is what you get. All right, 1 Marvel, 1 DC, 2 DC, 1 Marvel, 3 DC so far. Oh, DC coming in strong. Can we only cover Spider-Gwen? Oh, we'll get to Spider-Gwen, Banana God, don't you worry. All right, the DC guys came in fast and furious, and luckily DC is up right here, right now. So let's get through it, shall we? Let's get this one a crack-a-lackin', as they say. So obviously in September we'll still be deep into Year of the Villain. However, this will be kind of different. Even though we're doing Year of the Villain, we're getting a bunch of one-shots to, fill in the story of what's going on here, and a bunch of different villains are getting one-shots all to themselves. The first one we have right here from Jason Latour, and it's going to be focusing on Lex Luthor, or I guess as he's going by now, Apex Lex, because he's been empowered by Perpetua, and he's loaded up on that good alien DNA. So he's like stronger now with powers we've never seen before. He's a completely different type of Lex Luthor, and I just realized if I have this open, I can't read the chat at the same time, so I'm trying to get the chat open on my phone so I can hopefully hear what everyone is saying, because, that's part of the show. You do need to read Justice League Man Without Beer. It's all spinning out of that, and it's all been great. I can say without a doubt it's probably been one, if not the best book on the DC shelves currently. It has not let me down just yet. And yes, they really are calling him Apex Lex, not Aplex. That would be funny, though. Must be a good sex. Apex Lex sex. And response to text. He does it all. See, this is why I love the chat being my co-host for this show. Sometimes you guys are funnier than me. I never let you know that you're funnier than me, but you are. But yeah, that's Jason Latour writing that one. Looks interesting. I'll probably look at all of these. I remember back in the day when I worked for Name Redacted, I covered a hell of a lot of the Villains Month issues, so I'll definitely look at this one. Mark Russell, who of course I have been loving with his comedy work recently, both in Wonder Twins and The Lone Ranger and Prez, he's going to be giving us a Riddler story, and you'll notice right here, Riddler is back to, his original form, his OG form that we all like and understand, and not the weird mutton chop version of him that's been all over the damn place ever since of War of Jokes and Riddles, so I'm happy to see that again. And it's Russell, which means it might very well be funny. And I'm very interested in a potentially funny Riddler story. And it's being drawn by Michael Janin. So, it's going to look pretty goddamn good, too. So definitely put that one onto the to-read pile for sure. Then we got some stuff from Brian Michael Bendis. They're coming out with his hardcover for Powers, because of course they are. How you doing, chat? He is not rocking that Jim Carrey look anymore. He has moved so past that. And yeah, and Apex Lex is definitely behind him because he's the one puppeteering all of this. I don't know how involved he's going to be in the story, but he's going to be involved in the story somehow, some way. Yeah, no more buff Riddler. This Riddler's only been eating wagon wheels and whipped cream pie, so he's back to paunchy. I guess he was never paunchy. He was always athletic. Now, next up here, we got the Harley and Poison Ivy book. This is going to be a brand new miniseries spinning out of everybody's favorite event this summer, Heroes in Crisis. This will be the first of many books spinning out of that, mainly because they got to fix a bunch of stuff that Tom King broke. Mainly, hey, remember Poison Ivy died but was resurrected by the Green? Now she's a weird, semi-naked, semi-flayed plant woman? Should probably fix that. Also, Harley Quinn's back in her Suicide Squad costume because we have a Suicide Squad movie coming out. Oops, sorry we teased the return of her old costume, everyone. Guess we messed up. Jason Latour's written lots of things, man, without beer. Can't put my finger on it. This one's written by Jody Houser, and I like Jody Houser a lot. I follow her on Twitter. I cannot remember the last thing of hers I read. And honestly, there's just such a solid stink on this one of Heroes in Crisis. I'm not rushing out to pick up the Harley and Ivy book, which is a shame, because Harley and Ivy on like a road trip, that's like straight up Dini era stuff. That's stuff I should love, that stuff I should want to read, but I just don't want to because it's connected to Heroes in Crisis. Even if the general marching orders for these books are, hey, let's fix what was broken. What else we gotta say, chat? Oh yeah, Spider-Gwen and Southern Bastards. Yes, SD Althani. See, he knows what's up. And also, hey, hello, SD Althani. Thank you for joining. But yeah, Jason Latour writes lots of good stuff. Jody is amazing. And yeah, I am so far behind on the Star Wars stuff, JT Wizzy, but I would really love to get into it. In fact, I got like a 5-hour plane ride coming up, so I should maybe pick up some Flash to read, and I should pick up some Star Wars to read. But Harley is going to be a busy, busy girl in the month of September, because we also have Harleen. Harleen, 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 I'm begging on you, please don't steal my man. Little Dolly Parton for you there, everybody. But yes, this is another one of the Black Label books, one of the only imprints at DC to survive. And this is an origin story for Harley, which is interesting because obviously if you've been paying attention in the New 52, they've changed, reworked, and retconned her origin so many times, I don't even think they know what her story is anymore. This looks to be a bit of a back to basics, but also with a bit of like Aaron Brockovich thrown in there, where, Harleen Quinzel thinks she has the cure for madness, but those hoity-toity doctors and the FDA, they just won't let her test it, but maybe if she goes to Arkham and tests it on the Joker, the craziest man in the world, it'll work. And I don't know, maybe this book will work. It honestly sounds very, very similar to the Harley Joker Black Label book that also got announced, where that one sounded like, like a primetime TV show where she's like a criminal psychologist and he's like a Ted Bundy type. And we got an alert there. Oh, who was that alert from? I had a different page open. Shit, who did that alert? I missed it. Damn it. Who did the thing? Thank you, whoever did the thing. I'm sorry. I have several windows open and can't keep track of anything. I'm bad. But thank you, whoever you were, for whatever that was. Yeah, I never thought 15 years ago that Harley would get this popular. It's true. Winfrey, she is the fourth pillar now. She is the fourth pillar now of DC Comics. And Black Label, as Matt was quick to talk about it on the Comic Multiverse this week, it's quickly becoming the Batman imprint, Black Label. They should just call it Bat Label, because it's Batman books, Batman-related books, and Batman writers. Cape Joel, DC could have a story with everyone playing Never Have I Ever Origin Stories edition. That's a good idea, Asdalthani. That's like a great backup or a little mini. That's really good. You're damn right, Space Lord. Joshua Williamson should be writing the Wally West book, and we'll be getting to Wally in a minute, don't you worry. But we still got all of these ones to get through. So that was Harleen. We got Legion of Superheroes Millennium, #1 from Brian Michael Bendis. Brian Michael Bendis says he wants to shock your mind, everybody, with a story about time travel in the future and the Legion of Superheroes, which are going to be getting their start with brand new costumes in his Superman book. They're probably going to drop John off to join that team like his dad did, and then spin this off into its own story that's going to involve future timelines in DC, as well as Batman Beyond is going to be involved in that too. And all I can think is just, oh god, that sounds so tedious. I mean, I hope it's a little better than Leviathan, which has had like 4 issues and still hasn't started yet. I don't know, maybe Bendis is passionate about the future DC stories, but yeah, this This does not sound like my bag, and I know Legion of Superhero fans are really niche and really hard to please in their own right, and I wonder if Bendis can do it. Maybe he's a secret fan, who knows? But yeah, this one's not for me, I will say. Next up, we have Deceased, A Good Day to Die. Yeah, Tom Taylor's big zombie story that's blowing everyone's mind right now and is doing so good. Should be a Black Label book, but it isn't. It's so popular, it's getting spin-off material, actually. We're still going to get the main story of Deceased, which is the heroes fighting this anti-life equation zombie threat, but also we're going to see a team made of Mr. Terrific and the original Blue Beetle and Big Barda and Mr. Miracle, and what were they doing during the zombie outbreak? How did they survive? I'm fine with that. SD Althania, Bendis, he can't be that easy to please all the fans now. Tell me about it. But yeah, this one looks fun. I've been digging the zombie stuff. I've been digging what Tom Taylor has been laying down. I'll definitely check this one out. Yeah, Deceased is a lot of fun, JT Wizzy, which is a weird thing to say about a book where a bunch of people die brutally to zombies, but it's true. Man, a Green Arrow Black Label book would be cool and interesting. Man, Space Lord, I'll write it. I'll write it for free just so they can say I did it. It's Marvel Zombies, but far less cynical. You hit the nail right there on the head, Winfer. It is far less cynical. In fact, it's a little sweet at times with Damien worrying about his father and everything. Man Without Beer would like more Mr. Terrific. I liked his new 52 book. Yeah, that book still does have an interesting cult following all this time later, so you're not alone. They all look like horror movie posters, Amazing Spider-Man. That's kind of what they're going for. Oh, look at that messed up Deathstroke, which is funny because Deathstroke is dead currently, and now he's a zombie over here. That's good stuff. And now here's the one I'm sure a lot of people wanted me to talk about, and that is Flash Forward, or Can Scott Lobdell save what was done to Wally West? The answer is no, probably not, because he's Scott Lobdell and he's not that talented. He's mostly good at just writing Red Hood because no one else wants to, and taking all the other projects no one else wants to, and in fact, that's what this kind of feels like, that no one else wanted to touch Wally West after Heroes in Crisis, but Lobdell's like, I'll do it. And essentially what this story seeks to imply is, oh look, he's in space, there's a weird spaceman face behind him. Is this them starting to try and wash their hands of everything that was done with him in Heroes in Crisis? Are they trying to, pass the buck to Scott? Exactly, Tommy Asterix, you got it there. Is this them already trying to turn around, being like, well, we let Tom King do too much, we gotta do something now? Yeah, exactly, Winford. Lobdell collecting former Titans to ruin them like a messed up Pokemon trainer. Yeah, because Lobdell did so good in the New 52 with his Titans books and everything he did to Starfire and Roy Harper. Yeah, he's definitely the man to fix Wally. Yeah, this isn't totally something we gave to someone because they didn't want it. Wally's not blonde. I think he's supposed to be red-haired Banana God, but the sun, the nova in the background's hitting him in such a way. King Didio and Lobdell. Oh yeah, they love Wally. Love to ruin him, that is. Yeah, if nothing else, though, knowing that this is written by Scott Lobdell and he's the only creator I know of who actively straight up hates me and lets it be known that he hates me, I know I have no reason to read this book. And I wasn't going to read it anyway. Because, until Joshua Williamson or a writer I respect and who I know actually likes Wally takes a stab at the book, I'm good. I'm good. I'm definitely good. Does he really, though, SD Althani? Does Scott Lobdell really do better than Bendis? For all I know, Lobdell doesn't hate me. I haven't told that story before about why Scott Lobdell hates me. I'll tell it after. If everyone sticks around, that's the prize for the 21 people who stick around. I'll tell the story why Scott Lobdell hates me. Unless someone doesn't tell it in the comments first. I'm sure I've told this story like several times. But yeah, he does not like me. And has actually said by name that he does not like me. That's fine. I don't like your books either, man. Next up, of course, we got Batman White Knight, which is still going strong. I'm actively trying not to read the solicitations on this one because I don't want to spoil it too much, but here we see Batman very much in his Batman costume, even though he said he was quitting at the end of the original White Knight. We got Bud and Lou the Hyenas, as well as Dr. Harley, but in her Harley costume again, despite the fact that she seemingly left that behind even before the beginning of White Knight. So yeah, that one's probably my most anticipated book at DC of the year right now. I loved the original White Knight so much. I thought it was so well drawn, so well realized, and really smart too. Deep and complex, dealing with, socio-political themes that most comic books don't touch. So I'm very, very fascinated to see where this one is going to go in the future. No doubt about that. Oh, you didn't even know, Winford, there's a sequel coming out. Oh, yeah, there's a sequel coming out. Azrael's in this one. Azrael looks to be the villain in this one. Oh, man, that would be crazy, Marvel Knight. What if Harley becomes Batman's new sidekick? That would be nuts. Hope the Matt Reeves Batman movie's a suit similar to White Knight's. It's a good costume. It definitely looks like it could be a movie costume. You're not wrong. I could definitely see it making the jump to the screen fairly easily. All right, now what else do we have here? Ooh, Gotham City Monsters from Steve Orlando. So spinning out of the pages of Justice League Dark and building on the, I guess, success of Justice League Dark, we're getting a new monster-themed team with Frankenstein, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., probably one of the most underrated DC characters. It's amazing they can't make anything stick with this guy. And who else we got? We got Killer Croc and Orca, who I feel is them, like, after the fact, trying to cash in on the whole Injustice thing. The dude from iVampire, whose name always escapes me. What's the dude's name from iVampire? Like, Adam? He's got, like, a very simple name. But yeah, vampire guy from iVampire, who, again, showed up in Justice League Dark to great effect. And Lady Clayface. Not to be confused with Mudface. Andrew, his name. Okay, see, Andrew. Thank you, JT Wizzy. I knew it started with an A. It was a very generic guy name. And Lady Clayface is on the team, too, off to the right. Not to be confused with Mudface from the Victim Syndicate from, what is it, from Tomasi's Detective Comics. Completely different character. And yes, Winford, iVampire is indeed canon with DC Comics. Because Snyder wrote that, and Snyder works for this company now, and Snyder loves it. In fact, Beaumont, I think it is, whatever the big evil vampire queen was from iVampire, showed up as one of the immortals in Snyder's Dark Knight's Metal. So yes, it absolutely is canon. He's the only one who really does anything with it, but yes, you better believe they're canon. Ooh, a Frankenstein Black Label book. That would be great. Make it straight up horror. Read her wiki, Tevya Smolka. Read her wiki, Lady Clayface. She was just one of the other people who was Clayface, because you had Basil Carlo, Matt Hagen, this lady, and a bunch of other people. She's one of the forgotten ones. Also, this is Steve Orlando, who I really like. He obviously did the Midnighter stuff I enjoyed. Did not read his Supergirl. Haven't read a lot of his stuff recently, but I definitely want to pick this one else. Yes, Mary Queen of Blood. That's the vampire villain. Yes, Mary Queen of Blood is actually mentioned in Dark Knight's Metal as one of the immortals. So yeah, ain't that crazy? That's some good shit. His Supergirl was good. That's what I heard. That's what I heard. I heard it was a lot like the TV show, though, which to me is always a bit of a turnoff. Black Label Killer Croc book would be interesting. I've always liked Killer Croc. Also, too, Killer Croc being on this team now, I guess means he's off the Suicide Squad, even though Suicide Squad has been canceled for a bit. But still, it's interesting to see them move him around, and that he's still a hero or anti-hero. I kind of like that, because I guess when you break down Killer Croc's issue, what's his problem? It's just, oh, he's just a dude with a skin problem. Well, that doesn't sound overly evil, and people judge him harshly. Yeah, it does look like Croc's leading the team, because he's the biggest. He's front row center. Surely he's not, though. Surely it's Frankenstein, but still. Why was Suicide Squad canceled? Low sales. No one cared. Low sales, no one really cared, and, you know, people, for me, I know I wasn't reading it because I want to return to the Ostrander stuff. They're probably going to resurrect the book in some form in time for the next movie, even though the tone of the book and the tone of the movie are probably going to be super different. The rumor is, and still is, that Brian Azzarello is going to be writing the next Suicide Squad book, and that Wally West is going to be on that team. So yeah, just don't think because Lobdell is doing a book, you're going to not get Wally West on the Suicide Squad, because apparently Azzarello has been working on that pitch for a long time. So, you know. I read it, then they got Zod, so I quit. Yeah, that was an odd choice. That was definitely an odd choice for that book. Book was filled with odd choices that I didn't quite like. Why is Wally West going to be on the team? Because he committed a crime. He's a killer now, don't you remember? And he got sent to jail. And because if you're in jail in the superhero universe, you get the opportunity to join the Suicide Squad to knock time off your sentence. Can Wally not be on the Suicide Squad? That would be my first question, Amazing Spider-Man, when Azzarello pitched that. But it's modern-day DC, so their answer is, fuck it. Is their answer to everything. Just, you know... Some men just want to watch the world burn, and some men just want to watch Wally West be on the friggin' Suicide Squad. All right, so Inferior 5 from Keith Geffen, DC Superhero Girls. Dollar Comics, Detective Comics, reprinting the first chapter of Batwoman's epic clash with the religion of crime. Hey, some good Greg Rucka stuff, and just in time for that Batgirl TV show. Who'da thunk it? Same for them reprinting Hush, because we got that Hush animated movie coming out soon, so they want to keep Hush in everyone's mind. Harley Quinn #1, because we're getting that Harley Quinn animated show on the app that may or may not stick around. I own this one, actually. Or no, I own the Zero issue. I own the Zero issue of this, and it's actually signed by Palmiotti and Connor, and I'm really proud of that. It's one of my happier possessions that I have. Then we come on down to Action Comics. Hey, what's Bendis doing in Action Comics in the month of September? Well, he's crossing things over with his hero Naomi, who he created over in his Wonder Comics brand that might not be together anymore. Who knows? Yeah, SDL Thani, let's be honest, though. They won't be making the right decisions for a while. Sure feels that way. But yeah, so Naomi, the character he created, which Matt has been telling me great things about that Naomi book. It's just a really solid mystery book as far as what Matt's telling. But yeah, she's going to cross over with Superman now, and Batman's going to be there too, because, you know, when you're Bendis, got to create those new characters so you can get them residuals. Why use old characters when you can create new ones? Can't knock the man's hustle. And if she's showing up here, don't be shocked if she shows up in the Young Justice book, too, because, you know, that's the way it do. Yeah, he's doing with her what he did with Jessica Jones, and look what a big success Jessica Jones is now. So, I mean, it worked. Can't deny it worked. I can't speak to Naomi's quality because I haven't read the book myself, but there you go. I know I said before, of the two books he's writing, Action and Superman, Action was the better one because at least it played to his strengths with the whole investigative reporting, street-level crime thing, but there you go. Just an XP of his daughter. I mean, Miles was an XP of his son, and look how popular Miles is now. That's not really a bad thing. Heck, Sam Alexander was an XP of the unfortunately passed away son of that writer, so I mean, you know, never means it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be a bad thing. It just is what it is. And I mean, hey, if I was a father too, that'd probably change the way I write stuff too. Not currently reading Aquaman. I was reviewing it for an outlet, and then the outlet stopped sending them to me, so now I don't cover it anymore. Looks like Batgirl is changing writers as of issue 39, keeping the same costume, though. We're dealing with the fallout of Year of the Villain. This same strange Oracle-esque villain is fighting her. I feel like I should really catch up on Batgirl. People are telling me that last arc was really, really strong and made a bunch of reference to the Gail Simone stuff. Seems like something I would be into. Oh, we got Batman 79, City of Bane. That story's still going strong, whether you want it or not. We gotta get it done soon. Got to finish it off because he's got stuff to do elsewhere, but it looks like the Bat and the Cat are reuniting. Can they stop Bane? Is it all a dream? I don't know, and really, who cares at this point? Who cares? That's what I gotta say. But, yeah, there you go. It's almost done. That's issue 78, so it'll almost be done in September. So there you go. Yeah, so they can finally get married, and that'll fix everything. Also, what Martha are we getting next issue? I guess we'll have to wait and see if it's the Flashpoint Martha or if it's the other Marvel. Who knows? How many issues does he have left? 85, Banana God. He has to 85 to be done. And then he gets to do that Batwoman, Catwoman book with the Phantasm from Mask of the Phantasm. Hey, you said it, Marvel Knight, not me. I didn't say it. I can only just note an agreement. Alright, then what do we got after Batman? Okay, so more Batman 79, Batman Beyond, which I do not read, Batman and the Outsiders, which Matt has been enjoying, but I sadly do not think is long for this world, because unfortunately, as much as I enjoy Brian Hill, his stuff doesn't stick around too long, which is a shame, because I do think he has a unique voice. Then we got issue 2 of Batman Superman, the new one from Joshua Williamson, spinning out of the pages of The Batman Who Laughs in its finale, and we get to see a whole new generation of characters who have been tainted by the Batman Who Laughs presence, and in this case, it's Shazam, turning him into the Shazam Who Laughs, which is really creepy and really interesting, because you know he's a kid. No, I'm good, KT, and I'm good, Tevye Small. It's very clear Abnett, who's been writing it, never actually watched the cartoon and doesn't give a crap. If I want a good conclusion of Batman Beyond, I'll just read the Kyle Higgins digital series. That's all the continuation I need for Batman Beyond. But, yeah, this looks interesting. It is funny, though, of all the characters they could choose to make an evil, like, doppelganger of, that they chose to make it Shazam, and between this and the fact that Bendis gets to reintroduce the Legion of Superheroes into comics, and the fact that Snyder gets to reintroduce the JSA, these feel, if I didn't know any better, I would say these feel like little jabs at Jeff Johns and all the work he's done, where it's like, oh, we're going to take these characters away from you, or we're going to change stuff about them. It's very strange, very interesting. Marvel Knight, this is the most interesting thing Shazam has done in years. I'm liking the Jeff Johns book, honestly. I mean, I think you say in a long time because he tried to start doing new interesting things, then they cut him off for like 5 years until the movie came out. It's funny. He's getting screwed. That's just my theory, Savvy. I can't base that on anything, but it seems like he's getting just a little bit screwed up. It seems like they're messing with him just a little bit. Just a little bit with characters he's working on in particular. But, yeah, this looks fun. I'm happy to pick up a Joshua Williamson book, which also makes me think, man, I should really pick up his Flash stuff. I loved his Nailbiter stuff. He actually cut his teeth in horror, too. So, you know, he definitely knows what's going on there. We got Batman, Ra's al Ghul. Talked about this a little before. This is a story from Ra's al Ghul's point of view, and written and drawn, or at least covers by Neil Adams, one of the original creators of Ra's al Ghul. And I think that's super, super cool that they're working together again. I think this is one of the best things to actually come out of this Year of the Villain thing. If you're going to be doing a bunch of villain one-shots, at least do something interesting. At least do something kind of interesting with it. Batman Odyssey. No, it's not going to be that. No, Neil Adams is better than that. Dude still has it, and dude can still write. Then we got Catwoman, Collapser, Detective Comics. What do we got happening in Detective Comics? A story with Deadshot. Well, this is interesting. Now that there's no Suicide Squad book, the characters can actually go and do other things. I'm fine with that. Totally. We haven't seen Deadshot as a straight-up unmorally complicated villain for a little bit. Nice to see him get back to his, to his assassin roots. And Lucius Fox is going to be in this story, too. Also a character we haven't seen for a little bit. That's what I like about this Tomasi run. He's, reestablishing and strengthening relationships Bruce Wayne has with other people. So that's always fun. What else do we got going on after that? Okay, so we got more of the Mr. Freeze story, because Mr. Freeze is going to be his Villain's Year opponent, so that's pretty sweet. Anything that can work him in there is always nice. Doom Patrol continuing to going strong, and also, hey, because, Doom Patrol is popular again, and because, we're basically ruining the Titans right now, let's have Beast Boy go back and hang out with the Doom Patrol again. The team that everyone wanted to see him on forever, when Titans was good, but now that the pendulum has swung, let's just get him in there. Yeah, indeed, Tevye, where is Batwing, or his daughter? Yeah, Lucius Fox. Maybe Detective Comics will reference those things. He's good about continuity, Tomasi, so I wouldn't be shocked if he did. Yeah, also, SD Althani, yeah, I like Bendis a lot, too, from 2012. Not really liking what he's doing currently, but yeah, so, hey, there you go. I don't know if I'm going to pick up this new Doom Patrol book just because my heart has been broken by Doom Patrol comics so many times, getting involved and getting, invested in it only to have it canceled. And the fact that, DC has no clue what's going on with their streaming service right now, or if there's even going to be a season 2 of Doom Patrol, or in what form that's going to take, I don't know. They are going to be at Comic-Con, though, which definitely fills me with hope that Doom Patrol will get a second season, which hopefully means this book gets to run a little longer. So, make of that what you will. Make of that what you will, talk amongst yourself. Event Leviathan continues to keep going. I wish I had more to talk about in Event Leviathan, but truth is, again, they've tried to start this story like 4 times, and I still don't really know what it's about so far. I just know there is a guy, he's a big red guy, he's very upset at the superhero community, very upset about the spy community, and he's going to do something. And this something will be bad. We don't know what this something is, We've been reading this story for like 6 months, and we don't know what that something is. Also, there's a monster that kills you, but it doesn't really kill you, it just disappears you. Yeah, I saw that theory too, Tevye, that it might be Roy, because he's especially seemingly angry at Green Arrow and the fact that Green Arrow's in this story to begin with. Yeah, he's Red Hood, look at the mask. They imply, Banana God, that Jason Todd might already be a member of Leviathan, because Leviathan recruits heroes too. Interesting. I'll take your word on that, Amazing Spider-Man. Big Red and the villain, he's Kane. Oh my god. He's gonna start talking in a little voice box. May 19th, May 19th. Oh, then he's gonna team with X-Pac, and he's gonna beat up Batman and Green Arrow in a tag match. That would be fun. What else do we got going on here? Oh yeah, I forgot there was a Freedom Fighters book. Flash continues to go strong. Again, I'm so far behind on Flash, but Matt says such good things about it, and everyone else who's into it is really into it, and Joshua Williams is such a shiny rising star right now. I feel like I'm doing a disservice by not getting into it. Hawkman made it to 16 issues. Good on you, Hawkman. Most Hawkman series get canceled by now, and he's going to be fighting Shadow Thief, because Shadow Thief is one of the few Hawkman villains that people actually know, so that's what your Villains Month issue is going to be like. House of Whispers is going to be going on. House of Whispers, of course, the horror anthology for DC Comics, kind of like their answer to Tales from the Crypt. We got this, and then we also have, another book, Crazy, that's coming up. I'll talk about that later. But, yeah, so there you go. If you like horror anthologies and you like short stories. Justice League issue number 31, more crazy multiversal stuff happening, as we can see here. Yo, look right there. It's the JSA. It's the original superhero team all coming back. How are they going to make this work? Because they have a Hawkman too. Is he just a man in a costume? They have Wildcat and Jay Garrick Flash. Isn't he trapped in the Speed Force? And they have a Dr. Fate too, but he's a good guy, unlike the Dr. Fate in Justice League Dark, who's a bad guy now. How are they going to make it work? I don't know. Are they going to stick around the JSA, or are they just hanging out here for one issue? All I know is this is a pretty sick cover right here, and, you know, I trust Scott Snyder because he's been doing so much good work. Time shenanigans, Tevye. I'm sure that's how they're going to explain it. Yeah, comics, that's how they did it. Also, what happened to Dr. Manhattan? No one knows what happened to Dr. Manhattan, Tevye, and they're not going to give us an answer. Banana God, of course, prefers the BSA, Banana Society of America. You know, they work mostly with bananas in the community to raise banana awareness. It's good stuff. Flashpool, Flashpool, Flashpool. Yeah, exactly, JT Wizzy. Perpetua did it. Perpetua did everything. By the way, I finally saw Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Wow, it is Space Lord. It's amazing, Into the Spider-Verse. That movie is a work of art. In fact, hey, if you like that, we're going to be talking about that this week. Matt and I are going to be recording a commentary for that, because I knew it was coming to Netflix, so I wanted to do that, and also because the following week is Spider-Man Far From Home, so, you know, we're trying. Guess Doomsday Clock doesn't matter. Didn't matter when they started pushing it back and they had to go along with other stuff, but you know. What else do we got going on here? We're winding down at DC. Justice League Dark. We, of course, have them fighting all the different horrors that they've been setting up throughout this series. Now we got what looks to be maybe a new version of Clarion the Witch Boy. We've got Circe with the Hecate powers on her. A really messed up looking Solomon Grundy. So yeah, that book's great. That book's one of like the nice surprises you get at DC every month, because I almost forget it's a thing, and then I read it and I'm like, man, that's really good. So is Nightwing yet? Nope, still Rick. Nope, he's back in the blue, but he's still Rick. But also it looks like the Talon Assassin, his great-great-grandfather, William Cobb, hasn't gone away yet. My hope, and I'm basing this on absolutely nothing, I'm basing this on pure fan speculation, is that hopefully by the end of that story, Nightwing finally gets back to himself. But who knows? Why is he still Dick Grayson? Egos, that's why. Because someone changed him and they don't want to change him back just yet. I hate all people named Rick. I don't know many people named Rick. I'll take your word for that one, Banana God. Anything else interesting or of note? Obviously, of course, we got Shazam here. They're setting up the Monster Society, which again is one of the few groups of Shazam villains people actually know. And the Monster Lands. They're building quite a lore in this book, and they're going to have to, if they want to make that second Shazam movie, because literally that first Shazam movie just took everything from Jeff Johns' original New 52 run, so he's going to have to write some more stuff if they want to do it. But yeah, so I dig that Shazam book, as I've said before. It fills a nice young adventurer kind of niche at DC where you don't really have that filled at the moment. If I had young kids or like a young niece and nephew, I'd be like, yo, read this. This is some good stuff. I have Space Lord. I have read some of the Rick and Morty books. I really liked the Dungeons and Dragons book that Jim Zub wrote. I thought that was really funny and really really smart too if you play D&D. It makes a lot of fun little references. I continue to not care about Red Hood, Tevya. Have you gone through Marvel already? No, SD Althani, that comes next. The chat voted and they wanted DC first, but yes, we will do Marvel next. I know I go back and forth on which one's what. Alright, so that is Shazam for the month. Supergirl, still going strong with Mark Andreyko on the book. Good for him. Superman, as I mentioned before, they're going to be reintroducing a brand new version of the Legion of Superheroes because Bendis wants to write them now, even though Jeff Johns had put them in a little pile just for him that only he was going to get to write about it. But now Bendis gets to write it because he gets paid $30,000 an issue, so, you're not going to tell him to not write about things he wants. Matt and I, of course, strongly theorized that the reason he's bringing the Legion of Superheroes in here now is not just because of his Millennium story that he's setting up to, but also because he wants to send John off with them like his dad famously did. He wants to write him off, put him on a bus to the future. That's what they're going to do, which, I don't know, if that becomes a book, John, Superboy, and the Legion of Superheroes, I guess that's a thing. Yeah, he wants to get rid of Superboy because he didn't sign up to write a Superboy, Bendis. His Superman was a swinging single guy. He didn't sign up to write a married Superman either, which is why Lois and Clark live in different places. John will finally be interesting. Oh, you troll, Marvel Knight. John was always interesting. John was always good. Yeah, exactly, man. He just got off the bus. Now you're sending John back on the bus? Exactly. He just got off the bus to nowhere that was space. Now he gets on the bus that is the future. Also, someone said, why do they all have such stupid haircuts? The future. That's why. Future haircuts. It's all about the future. Look, at this point, I'm ruling anything that Bendis does with John to be non-canon. I mean, I hope Tomasi gets another Super Sons mini, and that can just be canon. Heck, even Tom Taylor and Scott Snyder prefer young John clearly because that's how Snyder wrote him in the last Justice League, and even in Deceased, he's a kid, because why would you not want to? John is the best new part of Superman, indeed. It's why that arc worked so good, because you got to see Superman in a new light as a dad. But, alright, so from there, what else do we got? We got more Leviathan tie-ins, Teen Titans or Junior Suicide Squad, which I'm not reading. The Terrifics, which is no longer a New Age of Heroes book, it just is a DC book now because it's officially the last one standing in its line now. With Sideways canceled, Terrifics is the last one. Which should really surprise no one. It's the only book that never needed to be part of a New Age of Heroes, because it was just characters people knew and liked anyway. But also a book that they made really just to spite the Fantastic Four, because they were gone at Marvel, but now they're back. This book exists in a weird place. I know some people really like it. I only read issue 1 and cannot speak to its quality, but still, the fact that it's still going. More power to them for sticking it out, man. Way to prove me wrong and be the last one standing from the New Age of Heroes. Even though none of you were New Age heroes, you were all very old heroes. They should just call you the Old Age Heroes, is what they should do. That's what I would do, because I'm very, very funny. Hey, Wonder Twins actually got extended. I haven't been reading this, but it's Mark Russell, and it's supposed to be really funny, and clearly they believe in it if they gave it a couple more issues. So yeah, definitely want to check that one out. What else do we got? Anything else, Universe? Batman Universe, so those Bendis books that you can only pick up in Walmart for Batman. Same with Superman Up in the Sky for Tom King. You can pick those up now in a volume. I keep meaning to get those and talk about those. because that seems like something that would be interesting. Wonder Woman, written by Jimmy Palmiotti and Amanda Conner, again, for the Walmart line of comics. I would pick this up just because I like those writers and artists as a team. And I think that would be good shit. And yeah, that's everything for DC in the month of September. I guess with that, we can head on over to Marvel, but I will also just look at the chat and say, hey, how's everyone doing? Are those Walmart comics in Canada? Not as far as I know, man. Without beer, I haven't been able to find them. I own one copy of the Batman one, and I only own that because a nice fan sent one to me because I was talking about it. Really, they're not available in Georgia. That's a shame. DC stands for Disappointment City. The last year and a half it has, hasn't it? But, you know, that's how comics work. It's a pendulum. It swings back and forth. You know, people were all down on Marvel this time like 5 years ago. It'll swing back eventually. Just is the way it is. Yes, that's the book series where Tom King made Superman kill Lois Lane over and over again. See, I haven't read that story because it's in a Walmart book. I don't even know if I can get mad at it or not because I haven't read it yet. Yeah, and it sounds like most of you, really hardcore comic book fans, if you're watching this show, most of you can't get it, which is a real shame. They're going to be collecting, like, the first volumes soon for them, and I definitely want to pick them up and read them because, hey, it's good free content for the channel, and also it's books I haven't read yet. To think Bendis writing Batman, that should be such a big deal, but it's happening in a Walmart book. So crazy. Well, you work for Walmart, you can't get those books. Holy shit. That's crazy. You know, you say that, Banana Gun. I'm sure you're not going to be alone. I can neither conform nor deny piracy, nor can I be seen to endorse it in any way, shape, or form. But, you know, if you can't get it and you can't actually give them your money, surely there's a thing. The Walmart books were made for children. Were they, though? Because there seems to be a lot of death and murder in the Marvel Knight. Again, the first one I read, which was like a Batman story, sure didn't seem like it was for kids. Sure did not seem that way. Maybe that's how they wanted it to begin with, but that is not how they got it. Hey, Joel, is it okay you have AEW now? Gotta love that AEW. Good stuff. I'm always happy for that. In fact, hey, thank you for mentioning that, SD Althani, because tomorrow probably, because Saturday is Fyter Fest, we're going to be doing an AEW show. We're going to be doing a big stream talking about it, so that's going to be good. We're going to go over our predictions for it. In fact, that's free, the next AEW show, Fyter Fest. It's not even it's not even a pay-per-view. You can just watch it on Belcher Report, so that's cool. But, yes, any questions before we move around and talk about the Marvel stuff for the month of September 2019? Anything at all? But what about the Firefly Funhouse? They're fun sketches, and you can watch them all online. You don't have to actually watch the show. And, in fact, I haven't been. Oh, you got NXT Toronto tickets? That's sick, man, without beer. I wanted to, but I spent like $2,000 on this next Vancouver trip for work and the London trip that's going to be coming up in the next couple months. I wish I could have gone to that show. Get me a shirt, please. That would be nice. Oh, man, G.I. Zombie. You're speaking my language there, Winford. G.I. Zombie was my man. That book is so underrated. All right, then. So, oh, yeah, and Progress is also having a big show. That's right. See, now I'm just doing the wrestling show. See, we gotta wait till tomorrow to talk about wrestling. But we will, I promise. Alright, so do we want to hop into the Marvel ones? Anybody? Anyone at all? Probably a good time, too. Nice little break in between to remind anyone, any donations, anything you give me, either to coffee, either to PayPal, either to anything else, down in the description. Any bits, any cheers, I'm actually going to be putting that towards buying a Switch so I can play Marvel Ultimate Alliance when that comes out, because I really want to play that one, and the new Pokemon. In fact, I actually set up a whole little thing where there's going to be like a bar down on the bottom that builds up. I think I have like $70 so far in donations, but you know, just throwing that out there. Oh, you'll have to tell me about it, sober hippie. Tell me all about the Switch. What do I need to know? Zelda, obviously, gotta get that. Oh, and thank you for the cheer. Why does Bendis hate Jonathan Kent so much? I don't think it's so much he hates him as that he's lazy and doesn't want to write about him, is the thing. I think he signed up to write Superman, but did not want the baggage that came with Superman, even though most people would claim that it's the best baggage, and it's the stuff that made people like him. That's what it comes down to, and no one's going to tell Bendis no, because he's the most highest paid comic writer right now. That's why. But alrighty then. So Marvel books, and the big one to start things off here: J.J. Abrams and son Henry Abrams, as well as Sarah Pichelli, are going to be giving us a brand new Spider-Man book, and it's just called Spider-Man. Not Amazing, not Miles Morales, just Spider-Man. And boy, the more you hear about this, it's funny because like J.J. Abrams did what he always did, and he mystery boxed us. Where it's like, oh, it's a Web 4 and Alex Ross art. Oh, it's counting down, and everyone, myself included, jumped to the conclusion where it's like, oh, is this going to be the like comic adaptation of the fourth Raimi Spider-Man movie we never got? It wasn't. It was this, because much like Cloverfield, we had to count down and turn it into something. But, yeah, so J.J. Abrams and his kid, and honestly, it sounds more like his kid is going to be writing this book than him. It sounds like J.J. Abrams is just, like, using his clout to get his kid a cool summer internship. But, yeah, so, more Spider-Man books. Maybe there'll be something interesting here. I'm more interested in getting to see Sarah Pichelli draw this, because obviously I loved her work with the Ultimate line. So it's cool to see this here. Yes, Sober Hippie, that's JJ's kid. I thought that was his brother. No, Sober Hippie, it is his small child who will be co-writing this with him. Yeah, I wish my daddy got me a cool job at one of the major comic companies. But no, my dad's not a big Hollywood director. He just drywalls and tapes. Sometimes he does get me office supplies, though, that they're throwing at, but So it's not Bug Guy. JJ's son, also his clone? ? Maybe that's what the story's going to be about. Really, he's 21 years old. Interesting. Okay, well, he's still his son at heart, though. If I could write a Spider-Man book, I would have killed Mary Jane on purpose and see what the fans think. They'd probably ride Cape Dad greater than J.J. Abrams. Man, Tommy, let me screen cap that and text that to him. He'll love that. What else do we got going on right now? Did someone just say that it would be better than Spencer's and Taylor's? Oh, that's fighting words for some. Oh, that's going to be fighting words for some people. I really liked issue 24. I just read that recently of Spencer's, and it was good stuff. What is the book even about? Because truth be told, I didn't even bother to read it just when I heard J.J. Abrams was involved. Most shocking, incredible comic of 2019 is here. Boy, they're really selling it, aren't they? Join superstars Sarah Pichelli for Team Up Spider-Man, what they have planned for Parker and Mary Jane Watson. Who is Cadaverous? The modern master of mystery, makes his Marvel debut this September. All right, they're building it around a new villain, K. I've heard worse pitches. For a thing. I mean, at least you're doing something new. You're not upsetting someone else's apple cart. That does sound like a name a little kid would come up with, though. All right, then we got Strike Force. Brand new team from Teenie Howard. And I gotta say, I've been loving what Teenie Howard's been doing recently on Thanos and her story she wrote for the Guardians Annual. Interesting makeup for a team. We got Blade, we got Winter Soldier, we got Spider-Woman, Damian Hellstorm, who's obviously got a show coming up, and Angela. Basically, this looks like a team of fan favorites. This looks like a team of, hey, why don't they do more with blank? Which they do every so often in comics. I don't know if this is going to stick around. Is Blade still an Avenger? Well, technically, Man Without Beer, everyone is an Avenger right now in Jason Aaron's run. Everyone gets to be an Avenger. So, they can pull double duty. I mean, the Fantastic Four are technically Avengers. Blade was Howard handpicked them. Interesting, Marvel Knight. I did not know that. Well, she has excellent taste, and yet another reason to very much enjoy her work then. I'm down with that. Banana God is also an Avenger. Cape Joel, an Avenger. Nah, I'd be an agent of Wakanda. I wouldn't get to be on the full team. I'd give emotional support and bake muffins. Actually, speaking of agents of Wakanda, we're going to talk about that in an instant. New teams. I don't know how long they last for. I can't remember the last new team that really stuck around, but I'm definitely going to give Strike Force a try. I definitely want to check this one out. It looks like a good mix and a good young talent. They even say here, hey, fresh new young talent, Teenie Howard, with a brand new team book made up of a bunch of cult characters. Then, of course, we got the House of X stuff, which, again, I'm actually actively trying to not read too much about as to not spoil myself on the goings-on. It was pretty hilarious, though, that Jonathan Hickman, if you follow him on Twitter, came out and said, yo, X-Men continuity is a mess. And everyone, I thought people were going to get really pissed at him, but, most people universally agreed, yeah, it is. Thank you for coming in and trying to clean it up. And I hope he does that. And I will be excited to see what he does with that one. What else do we got going on? X-Men continuity is a mess. It's a mess, and the rules are a mess. He went out of his way to mention Omega mutants, and I'm like, yes, there's too many Omega mutants. The power scaling is all off. Please fix, Hickman. Please fix, if you would please. Then we got the Marvel Comics 1001, which, of course, is after their big issue 1000. It's a big celebration issue. I do love this collage, though. As you can see, I made this collage, actually, the backdrop for my overlay for this Twitch thing. I do love this image. I want this as a poster. This is a great looking image. I love collages. But yeah, it's it's a collection of stories, lots of writers, it's this I like too because it's a nice snapshot of like, okay, in 2019 Marvel, who's really important, and who's important because they get the bigger image. Venom is important, and look, he's got new wings now. We've changed him around because his movie did good. Iron Man front and center because obviously he was a big deal in Avengers. Thor bigger than ever before. Jane Foster bigger than ever before. Hulk center stage and bigger because his book is great. The Thing here now. The Thing, the only one representing the Fantastic Four, and Wolverine also big because he's back now. We also got to show some of the new Asian heroes off here in the corner. Spider-Gwen because Into the Spider-Verse is really big and she's the breakout character on that team. And Spider-Man because we always love Spider-Man. But yeah, I always like to look at these images and be like, all right, who's really popular now? Who's big because they get the biggest thing? Yeah, no Miles on it. That's unfortunate. Of all the big breakouts, he's the one. Or that of all the Spider people, Gwen gets more panel real estate than him. She was the best before the movie, though. Some people would argue, there's a strong argument to be made. Which one was better? Spider-Gwen or Ghost Spider, as she's called now, or Miles. I would argue Miles had an amazing Ultimate run, was really good in Secret Wars, but kind of fumbled a bit in the book in between in the Passover from Bendis to Amid. Amid's doing good work with him now, but again, there was a couple years there. Meanwhile, Gwen was nice enough and lucky enough to be in her own universe where she could just do whatever she wanted and reinvented the wheel. I wonder if she'll suffer from the same problems now that she's being brought into the main universe, if she'll also have some of those Miles growing pains. I don't normally cover IDW Sober Hippie, because I don't really read a lot of those books. Is there something at IDW you particularly like? If you do, tell me about it. I might talk about it. He got screwed over in the main universe for a while, Tevi. I think they're fixing that. They're comparable now, though. Yeah, alright, what do we got going on? Oh yeah, Absolute Carnage continuing to be going strong. Don't want to repeat what I said in the last video last month when I talked about this, but yeah, Absolute Carnage looks cool. I really like what Donny Cates is doing in the Venom book. I'm excited to see this take over the whole universe. I'm down for it. I mean, sign me up even just for the artwork here. I mean, these are some really cool poster images. And because it's an event, get ready for all the crossovers. He's crossing over with Spider-Man. He's getting a mini-series with Deadpool, because Deadpool v Carnage apparently sold really well originally. You got Absolute Carnage Avengers, so the Avengers are getting a special one. And hey, look at this team lineup for Avengers. We got Wolverine and The Thing and Hawkeye and Captain America. I'm about that. That's an interesting team lineup. That's a team lineup that's not even getting a focus in the book right now. I like they get a little special. I'm down for that. I can totally see myself liking that. What other interesting ones do they have here for this one? Lethal Protectors. Hey, Misty Knight and Iron Fist and a bunch of other characters are going to be fighting the Demo Goblin. Again, I can respect that. I want to read Iron Fist in something again. I really like him. Iron Fist is like my Green Arrow of Marvel. I really like him, but he can never keep a book for that long. Plus, they're called the Lethal Protectors, which is obviously a play on Lethal Defenders, which is super cool for me. Really? Stegman started a podcast, you say? Huh. I feel like I should listen to that man without beer. I feel like I could probably get him on my own show, actually. Good tips. Good tip, man without beer. I'll have to check that out. No, we haven't seen the Demo Goblin in years. It's been a very long time. Absolute Carnage, Miles Morales. Miles is getting a 3-part mini into this, and holy shit, this looks rough. Also, too, notice that whatever weird symbiote creature he's fighting looks like him, and it has his color scheme. Miles hasn't had a symbiote costume. He hasn't had a black costume yet, which actually makes him a rarity in this event, because it's basically like everyone already has one, and if you have one, Carnage can already kind of control you and, make you serve the Void and make you serve Null and everything. I have to wonder, is he going to get a suit in this for the first time? Because that would be really fascinating. Furthermore, Miles has a really interesting connection to the symbiotes because the Ultimate Venom suit killed his mother originally. And sometimes he remembers it, and sometimes he doesn't remember it. And I wonder if they're going to do something with that. Yeah, also, what if it's his mother, JT Wizzy? Exactly, we don't know. We don't know where that could go. I'm very interested in this one. This one definitely jumps to the top of my must-read pile for this event. Definitely got to check that one out. But yeah, that one's going to be a 3-parter, so already they're giving a lot of time and effort to that. And Saladin Amit is writing it, so that's definitely fun. Carnage's henchmen, Scream and Lash and a bunch of the other ones, they're getting minis to themselves. That's funny. Spirits of Vengeance, so Johnny Blaze gets one too, so we can have sick-ass tattoo art. Ed Bresson is writing that, so hey, go Canada, go Canadian writer. Even Symbiote Spider-Man, the one that's in the past, is actually getting in on the action, even though that's a prequel series told in the time where where Spider-Man had a black suit. It also gets a tie-in, because why the hell not? Because everything is going to be Carnage. Carnage is going to be paying the bills in September. Carnage is going to be making it rain red bills all up in here. Alright, what else we got going on here? Venom, obviously, the book it's spinning out of, it's going to be very important to this because Donny Cates is writing that, and he's writing the event itself. And I gotta say, the cover work they got here is really good. Yep, Tevye still King of Hell. In fact, that's what the next Avengers arc is going to be all about. Them dealing with not one, but multiple Spirits of Vengeance and multiple Riders. Are we getting a Gwen Carnage book, too? I would not be surprised. Yeah, so yeah, just some really great cover work. And, oh, look, it looks like the Maker is back. That's always fun. What else we got? Oh, yeah, hey, Crazy. Yeah, so they're bringing Crazy back at Marvel, everyone. Chances are most of you are too young to remember Crazy. Crazy was like a comedy imprint that they used to have. It used to be like Mad, Cracked, and Crazy were the 3 big comedy magazines back in the day, and I love the idea that they're actually bringing it back. I don't know if any of these characters on the cover are actually going to be involved in it, but just from, a historical standpoint, I love that they're bringing Crazy back. Black Widow, getting a brand new miniseries, again, by Jody Houser, writer I really like, really enjoy. I gotta read that Soka Sisters one, because, again, they're Canadian, and I really want to support their work, and people said it was really, really good, too. Okay, why won't the Maker die? Because he's popular. He's popular, yet they refuse to do anything with him. He's the only other holdover. Him and Miles. I guess they got to keep him around until he and Miles can have a story. Wonder if the Maker is who kidnapped Miles in the last issue. Ooh, potentially. Potentially. Also, is there a new Miles issue out? Did I miss the last issue? I always feel like I'm 1 or 2 issues behind on the Miles book, and I hate that. Where's Jimmy Hudson? Who cares where Jimmy Hudson is? That's the answer. And she's getting a movie, so all the more reason we want to keep her alive, even if it's just miniseries. And oh hey, War of Realms wrapped up today, which kind of felt like Jason Aaron saying goodbye to the Thor character. But don't worry, he's not. He's still going to be writing the next couple issues of Thor. And he's going to be writing that Jane Foster book with Al Ewing. And we have this King Thor 4-part miniseries that's going to finish off the epic of King Thor in the future. And what happens to him and the Necro Sword and his granddaughters and everything else. I'm totally down for that. So definitely sign me up for this one. It's so nice to know that this, like, almost decade-long run for Thor and Jason Aaron is going to actually have a satisfying conclusion. This is all going to make for one hell of an omnibus one day, I tell ya. What else? My buddy, friend of the show, real nice guy, fellow Canadian, Jim Zub is going to be giving us the Agents of Wakanda, which, as soon as they invented the Agents of Wakanda in the Avengers book, I'm like, why don't they have a team? This is a really cool-looking team. Gorilla Man, Kazar, the Wasp, Okoye. I'd read this. I'd read the hell out of this. But, yeah, it's going to be a book now. I love that Jim Zub is getting to write it. Yeah. Sign me the hell up for this one. I am so down for this book. I don't think it will last long because, usually side Avengers teams don't last very long, I hate to say. Ooh, that's a good question, Space Lord. Has Reed Richards met the Maker? We'll actually talk about that. He might not be meeting the Maker, but some other characters are going to be meeting the Maker who are connected to the Fantastic Four, so we will see. It is more characters on the cover, yeah. I mean, that's always the thing. That's always the fear with these team books, that they'll get canceled. Anything that's not a mainline book. But hey, they could make it. You never know. History of the Marvel Universe from Mark Waid. Again, this looks really interesting and really fun. I don't know if this is the sort of thing I would actually cover on the channel, because it looks to be an actual history book, but hey, who knows. Roger Stern coming out of retirement to do a Loki book. That's pretty sick, and I like this moment in time we've captured here of the Avengers, like old-timey Thor, but with a beard, Wasp with her old haircut, Monica Rambeau on the team, silver-faced Iron Man, and Loki in his old costume. Should be fun. I like they're getting Roger Stern back, and DC is getting, a bunch of old writers back for their thing, so this kind of feels like them trying to one-up each other. We talked about Avengers. Well, hey, if you read the last Guardians book, you would know that the Cosmic Ghost Rider was killed and sent to Hell, but that's okay, because Johnny Blaze is the new King of Hell, and he's like, hey man, come hang out with me, you're a Ghost Rider, I'm a Ghost Rider, I've got big plans for Ghost Riders. And it looks like the Avengers are going to have to deal with this problem in Hell and this influx of Ghost Riders. So, you know, I'm down for that. I'm down for all of that. Savage Avengers. Looks like they're actually going to be finishing off the first arc in September and actually building the team that was advertised. That book's fine. That book is workmanlike. It's not going to blow your mind with, you know, deeper, interesting themes or complex deconstructions of the characters. It's just blowing shit up. And that's fine, you know. You need your aggro, aggressive testosterone book somewhere, and here you go. You got it. It's a better version of those books we got in the 90s, because if nothing else, Duggan is a really good writer. Really great, really workman-like writer, and, you know, I'm happy to see him have some success. Captain America from Ta-Nehisi Coates. Another book that just moves from strength to strength right now. It's really good, smart political thriller a la Alan Sorkin in The West Wing. Captain America, back in his S.H.I.E.L.D. costume, back in his old stealth suit and everything, which is really cool because he's kind of on the run in the book right now. He broke out of Strucker's state-run prison, and now, you know, he's trying to clear his name and everything, and I like the kind of return to this costume to match the era. I wonder what situation will make him put that costume on, like if he just hid it somewhere, but that's some good shit. That's some good shit. Sign me up for that. I always really liked that suit. But S.G. Althani. It's an amazing book, but not for me. That's fine, you know, that's the thing. SD, it's not for everybody. It really isn't. But those who do like it a lot. Another one I like a lot, Invaders, probably one of the most slept-on, underrated books of the year. Chip Zdarsky is getting a lot of great credit, as he should, for his Daredevil and for his Spider-Man life story, but this is also very good, especially if you like Namor. Especially if you would like Namor. Ooh, Coates X-Men would be fun. Yeah, it would be interesting to see what he did with that. Captain America, The Bourne Conspiracy, kind of amazing Spider-Man, kind of a lot. Not only has he been good, Winford, but what I really like about Coates at Marvel is he's gotten better. Because I know those first couple Black Panther issues were a little shaky as he made the jump from, you know, journalist, novel writer to comic writer, but I think he's really hit his stride in the last little bit. Is Namor still a villain? It's complicated, Tevye. He kind of walks the line. He's a weirdly interesting, compelling anti-hero who does bad things but doesn't hurt anyone, and only does it because he's sick in the head and his friends really want to help him. It's a hell of a thing. It's a hell of a thing, Invaders. It's a lot to chew on as a book. Lots of stuff to chew on. I like his Black Panther a lot. Yeah, I read a little of his Black Panther, but I had to stop because I got too much shit. But I read the first arc and enjoyed it. Yeah, he's defending his home, but he's also building his borders because he also turned a bunch of people into fish people and like took over an American city. Yeah, Space Lord, I'm definitely going to give the X-Men books a try. Which I'm even more interested in giving those books a try now because, again, they basically said, hey, we're junking all this X-Men continuity that is impenetrable to everyone. What else do we got after Invaders? Immortal Hulk, again, just one of the best things on the shelf, period, now at either company. I've loved the Hulk for so long. He's always been one of my favorite Marvel characters. I'm so happy people like this book now. And everything they're doing with General Fortin and Shadowbase and the new Abomination and Betty Ross as Harpy. That last issue was maybe one of my favorites. And I can't wait to see where they go with this one in the future. Great, great series. I think someone said this series is to Hulk what, like, Swamp Thing was for Vertigo back in the day. And they're not wrong. They're not wrong at all. It's very much like that. And hey, because if you've been reading that Hulk book, you'll know that one of Hulk's new powers is that he can cycle through all of his different personas that he's had over the years. So, hey, here's the head of Banner, and here's, what is it? The intelligent Hulk. Gotta remember him, and the mindless Hulk, and Joe Fixit, because these are all personalities that he can cycle through now, so we might as well remind you who these characters are. Professor Hulk, who definitely got his heyday thanks to Avengers. Devil Hulk, who basically is the Hulk in charge right now, the evil one who wants to end the world. Red Hulk, which I'm interested that they're including in here. Does that mean General Ross is either going to come back from the dead, or can Hulk tap into the personas of other Hulks now, living or dead? Because if so, that would be really cool. And also fits very well with the weird magical paranormal thing they've built in with it. Mark Ruffalo Hulk, oh man, that should be one man without beer. He should definitely tap into that one at some point. That would be cool. Also, does that mean he can also tap into She-Hulk? Hulk 2099. Funny, he can tap into Hulk 2099, but not the Maestro. Although in the last issue, he did almost mention the Maestro. And then one here where it's just a collection of all the other weird frickin' Hulks from throughout the universe. The furry Hulk and everything else. Iron Man's got big things coming from Dan Slott and Jim Zub in September. Ultron is coming back. We're doing a big Ultron story, which should be great because I feel like Ultron is one of those real untapped things at Marvel currently. The idea that, he was half Hank Pym, half Ultron, half his monster, and, he kept saying he was going to be the next great big villain for Marvel, and then he just never was. Perfect fit for Tony, though. Perfect fit for this book. Nadia better meet her father at some point. Yeah, JT Wizzy, that feels like a card they've yet to play, but they really should. I guess it wouldn't work in the Wasp book that they have right now. Ultron, wasn't he dead? He was dead, then he was reborn. He comes back a lot, because he can just do that, because he's Ultron, he's the best. And he's also half Ultron, half Hank Pym right now, which is just such a great design. Such a great design. I did not read Rage of Ultron, but I ultimately didn't have to, because the only thing you had to know about Rage of Ultron is they got fused together at the end. I read every subsequent thing with him being, the Uncanny Avengers, obviously when he showed up in Secret Empire and basically stole the whole show. Lots of good stuff. But yeah, so that's a good one. Again, more good stuff for Jim Zub. Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Spider-Ock is going to be fighting Spider-Geddon. And Miles is actually going to be fighting the Ultimate Green Goblin. How did the Ultimate Green Goblin make it to the main universe? I don't know. But he's here now. And this seems pretty cool. Because this is also like a fight you never really got to have. So I like that they're flipping the script on this one. Could this also, be indicative of things to come? I mean, we kind of saw that there was another universe out there that was like the Ultimate Universe. Somehow. Who knows? Yeah, I'm sure it will be Science Banana Lord. I'm sure it'll be like a friggin', it's a time machine from an alternate universe or something. Yeah, okay, yeah, actually, you know what, JT Wizzy, you might be onto something. How did he get here? Same way that Spider-Gwen is going to get here. He got one of those universal watches that they get. He does write a very interesting Iron Man. I do like I think Slott doesn't get enough credit for what he's been doing on Iron Man right now. And Zub is there too, and Zub also has good ideas. What else do we got going on here? Black Cat. Ah, yeah, here we go. So, Ghost Spider. Man, it's like I want to start reading Spider-Gwen again, but I know there's like 40 issues that I left behind and never caught up on. I wonder if this is a true fresh start, or if you need to be up to speed on everything that happened in Her Earth. Because Her Earth was one of the coolest things about her book, where it's like, Frank Castle's, this really obsessive cop because he didn't become a vigilante, and like Matt Murdock's in her universe, but he is the Kingpin now instead of trying to stop the Kingpin, and just like lots of cool little things like that. And I don't know if any of that's going to carry over, or what's the thing. Why can't they call her Spider-Gwen? The real question, Tevi, is why can't they call her Spider-Woman? Because she's Spider-Woman in that movie they love so much, Into the Spider-Verse, because it's great. I guess they don't want to confuse her with the other Spider-Women, but you're not doing anything with the other Spider-Women. You do need to read her other books, is what you're saying. Alright, so there will be that much story. Huh, who knew? Yeah, I guess because Secret Identity, yeah, that's true. She can't have Spider-Gwen in her name. They also never called her Spider-Gwen in the Spider-Gwen book. She just was Spider-Woman, because she was the only Spider-Woman in her universe. But yes, obviously they want to call her Ghost Spider too, because she's Ghost Spider on television, and that's where they've kind of all put it together. And because Jessica Drew fans, yeah, they're a very loyal lot, and they would riot. What is it? Dylan, our buddy Dylan out there from Orem Loves Comics. He would riot on that one. He'd be leading it with his torch and pitchfork in the street if they took that name away from her. Although in truth, there's been a lot of different Spider Women. Spider-Man Velocity. Hey, did you like that suit from the games? Well, hey, what if we made the suit from the games into a little mini-series on its own? We'll do that. Reprinting Spider-Man Going Big, which is some classic Jerry Conway stories. Gotta love that. Fantastic Four continuing to go strong as well under Slott. Dropped off on that one, I hate to say. But people who are enjoying it continue to enjoy it. People asked about the Maker, and has the Maker met Reed Richards yet now that he came back? No, but it looks like he's going to be meeting the Future Foundation. Looks like he's going to be meeting the kids. Ain't that some shit? I almost want to pick that one up just because I like to be up to speed on what exactly is going on with the Maker. Invisible Woman gets her own miniseries. I'm going hoarse in my voice. Jane Foster miniseries, now that she's the new Valkyrie, continues throughout the month of September with Jason Aaron and Al Ewing at the wheel on this one. Aaron, of course, saying that this will be the last thing he writes on Thor and the Thor universe when that book is done, which I think makes that a must-read. Loki also getting a book. They seem to be trying to make him a good-natured hero again, or at least, a chaotic trickster type. I've read a couple Loki series. They've all had something interesting to offer. Punisher Kill Crew. Yo, Punisher continues to kill the magical universe because he had so much fun in it the first time. Agents of Atlas proving popular enough that it gets its own mini-series after the War of Realms mini-series is done. So, if you're a fan of Asian creators and Asian superheroes, definitely check that one out. What else do we got? Okay, reprints of famous Daredevil stories, reprints of Son of Satan, because obviously he's going to be getting a TV show around this time. More Spider-Woman, which we were just talking about. Chip Zdarsky's Daredevil, which again has been excellent. Death's Head from Teenie Howard. Man, I love me some Death's Head. I love that they're bringing back this weird Transformers adjacent character. We got some more Doctor Strange, some more Ironheart, more Gwenpool, because Gwenpool strikes back. Add that to another list of characters that I actually need to go back and read, because I stopped at a point, even though people kept telling me it was great. Magnificent Miss Marvel. I'm 2 issues behind on this, but I plan to catch up. I like it. Looks like her friends from Earth are back, so she's not going to be staying in space all that long. I know I was afraid that this new Miss Marvel book was just going to be a cosmic book now. Silver Surfer Black, again, going strong from Donny Cates on this one. He's got like a black symbiote arm because he touched Null, the evil god of symbiotes. And also, this was a time travel book, and I didn't know that from reading the first issue, but it actually is. We got a lot of Guardians in September. We got, again, the team just gets friggin' bigger and bigger. We got Crosshair. We got Adam Warlock. We got, I don't know if that's supposed to be the Abomination or what that's supposed to be, but yeah, we got more stuff on that book. We got, of course, something from Peter David, the Prodigal Son, which looks to be dealing with Moondragon, because she's front and center in that one. Old Man Quill, which I did not know that book is still going, but that book is still going. Thanos wraps up in September. Really liking this one. Again, more Teenie Howard, more good stuff. Ghost Spider gets an annual, don't you know? And we got Arcade and the Rhino and the Lizard involved. Moon Knight annual. Yes, that's right, because some characters are just getting annuals now, even though they don't have books, just to kind of like keep them going, which I'm totally fine for. And this is a great cover. Talk about another series I need to read. I need to read Max Bemis's Moon Knight. I read the first 4 issues, really enjoyed it, and then had to stop. In fact, I think the last time I traveled somewhere was when I read the first 4 issues, and I'm like, man, this is really good, and then had to stop. I need to take longer plane rides. I just need more free time. I got too many work comics to read. I can't read just the books that I like. Alright, so then we got Wolverine annual. It's amazing that Wolverine keeps getting all these miniseries, all these annuals, yet he does not have a new ongoing, and he's on all these teams. What's up with that? Why are they afraid of pulling the trigger on a new Wolverine book? You think that would be a license to print money. Punisher looks to be putting together his own Thunderbolts team, or at least he's putting together a team to fight Baron Zemo's newly assembled Thunderbolts, because obviously Baron Zemo has been the overarching villain of Matthew Rosenberg's Punisher book, and if you'll recall, Baron Zemo started the original Thunderbolts, so it makes sense. And hey, we got Johnny Blaze Ghost Rider, we got Night Thrasher, and we got Moon Knight. So that should be some good shit. Unbeatable Squirrel Girl actually coming to an end reasonably soon. Which, man, what a long run that had. Good on Ryan North. I don't think anyone thought that book would last as long as it did. Jim Zub giving us Alpha Flight True North, and I feel as a Canadian I am by law required to cover this book, even if I wouldn't normally, because there's probably going to be a lot of references and shoutouts that only I would get. Dead Man Logan. Really, they haven't killed Old Man Logan yet. Dead Man Logan is still going and will still be going in September. Okay. I would have bet money that book was done yet, but apparently it's not. And then you got all your Star Wars and everything. I feel like I need Matt here to talk about this. I feel like I'm not qualified. But those Age of Resistance books catch up with the new movie, so you're going to be getting stuff on Kylo and on Snoke. So hey, maybe you'll finally get your answers about Snoke that some people were really interested in. In doing so, I felt missing the point of the movie, but hey, what do I know? Nothing, apparently. And then you got a Jedi Fallen Order book to tie in with the game. So, if you like Star Wars, your cup just runneth over with friggin' Star Wars. And with that, I think we have finally officially come to the end of it, everyone. That's all the books from DC and Marvel in the month of September 2019. I'm losing my voice. Yeah, SD Althani, it was a 12-issue mini I just saw. I just assumed it was done. I thought it was shipping quicker than that. But yes, everyone, so there's the video. I hope you liked it. I hope you enjoyed it. I will bring this portion of the video to a close so I can re-upload it later on the Cape Joel Extra channel. Be sure to check it out and subscribe if you haven't. I will leave a link down in the description for those who need it. But hey, even though I'm bringing this part of the video to close, I will be sticking around on the stream, taking more questions, talking with people, hanging out, doing what I do, and yeah, be sure to follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and everything else, so when I do another one of these, you can catch it.